really not living with an attachment to things or to people, to situations, status, anything, because none of that matters to your soul. To your ego, it matters, but to our soul, it doesn't really matter. And so it's important that we start to tune in. And, you know, when we're practicing meditation, and I'm saying practicing meaning daily, we are honoring time for stillness, we will make much better choices, much more aligned choices that get us back on the freeway in the direction of our soul's highest mission. Because we're listening, we're tuning in, we're getting that signal, that guidance. Okay, here's the next step, Tanya. This is the next step. This is where you need to go now. Okay, and then I take that step, I manifest, and then I'm in that pause place. So there's action and then being. Action, being. And it's really important to practice this in a very balanced way, because the state of the planet is very reflective of what action and action and action without any presence creates. And if we want to shift things, we need to take the action once we come into that place of stillness. We're receptive, we're listening, we're awaiting the next signal of the direction, the intention, the solution. It's all within, it's all coming in. And as we listen, we can take aligned action. And it's not like worrying about the future anymore, because the more we practice being in the now and honoring stillness, we realize there's really nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about out there externally. You don't need to have all the answers right now and give everybody everything. You just need to be present and trust that whatever you do need will come. When you're doing a training, you're just going to practice what you have now. And when it's time to deliver, you trust that Spirit will move through you, will teach through you, will speak through you, will paint through you, will heal through you, whatever it is. The more we open ourselves to be receptive, and we're vessels for the light, we're vessels for Spirit to move through, amazing, magical things start to happen. And your life really will shift into this place of greater ease. You'll just feel at ease. You'll feel content. And you'll be trusting. There won't be any more fear of where money's coming from, or where the people will come from, or the help or the support, because we know we're connected to Source. We tune in. We thank Source for what we need and what we are asking for very clearly. And then we listen to the guidance. And everything we need comes to us. So I'm going to pause for a second to see if anyone has any input in what I'm sharing today, or any questions on that. And see if you guys have anything to say.
Not yet.
Okay.
Go ahead and take another drink.
Yeah, type in your questions if you have a question, or just even your feedback. Like, is what I'm saying resonating with you? Or are you like, you're full of crap, Tanya? So just totally share. If you think I'm full of crap, bring it. I will totally listen to your side. It's totally fine. But if you feel like, wow, what she's saying makes a lot of sense, and I have been stuck for a long time, and what is that? Why do we get stuck? Like, any questions you have, just write them in, and I'll love to tune in on that. And then first person to call in, again, as I always offer, I will do a complimentary reading for the first caller. And then at the end, I'm going to offer a special just for remote healings and remote clients, because I can't always connect with the ones of you that are listening. So I have a special offer just for you today.
All right. Hold it.
Is there a question?
You have a caller.
Okay.
Hello? You there listening?
Caller, you're going to need to turn down the volume.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. The voices sound very strange right now.
What's that?
Oh, okay. Voices.
Did you walk away from the computer?
Oh, yeah, I did. It seems like the voice is behind, though.
Okay. There will be a delay. That means that you're still watching. You really need to walk away and just think about it as a phone call.
Okay. Hi, I'm
Okay,
just
so I
waiting
guess-
for, like, is my voice caught up now? I don't know why. I guess it was echoing off of each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you sound fine from our side.
Okay, good. It was so weird. I was like, because I was like talking present time, and then on the computer screen it was like my past voice, and it just sounded really weird.
You're like,
Anywho,
what's happening?
yeah,
So,
technology.
hey, Eileen, I recognize that voice. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. So, what did you have a question?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Question. Also, kind of just reflection on what you're saying. Like, I just wanted to say, yeah, I like what you're saying completely matches like how I'm feeling right now. And when you're talking about your soul sister gathering as well, like what many women were feeling like they're really wanting to change and like step into their power more.
Yes.
But like just felt like something was still holding them back. And like I've been feeling that way lately to the point where I'm like frustrated with myself. Like, you know, like acknowledging that part of myself, and I'm just kinda like, no, I don't want this anymore. Like, I really want to keep pushing ahead to like the positive changes that are coming into my life. Like, I don't want to just keep staying stuck.
Yes.
So
that's great awareness. Yeah. And it really it takes a lot of courage, honestly, to make that choice. Because for one, if we've been so accustomed to staying stuck in like whatever we think we're getting from that delay and that fear, and it just takes some time to unlearn that behavior. But really, as you start to, you know, take those baby steps and be gentle with yourself, like each little step, really celebrate them. If you can get back to that energy, well, not all of us had a beautiful childhood where we were really celebrated and cheered on, but if you can imagine that really beautiful aligned childhood scenario where you take the first steps and everyone's cheering for you and they're excited, and really remember what that energy would feel like no matter what your earth age. Whenever you're making progress, give yourself credit for that and really celebrate that, because that is beautiful fuel for the soul. Whereas when you criticize and you insult yourself, that is fuel for the ego.
Right. Yeah. And like I was like, you know, it's like it's perfectly human to like get frustrated with yourself, like, oh, I did that again, or oh, I went back to my old way of thinking. But yeah, it's kind of like, well, I shouldn't be so hard on myself because I've come pretty far.
Yes, you have
really been like working on things in every way I possibly can. So.
Yeah, and so maybe that's just your angels nudging you to just really honor how far you've come. That came up in the circle as well. Like when we were meeting, it was just really looking. It's easy. Today, one of my yoga students made an amazing reference of how the suffering of the humans comes from comparison and competition. And I completely agree. And so it's if we're in a circle and say a couple of the girls are really getting it and they're clicking and everything's going well for them, and then a couple of the girls in the circle are like, wow, my life's not like that, and like I don't feel like I'm connecting, I don't feel like I'm in a magical place. And so then if they don't look at that as a mirroring of where they can also go, and they instead look at it as comparing themselves, like, man, I suck, I'm not as good as them, very quickly ego will start to create suffering. And so no matter if we're comparing to others or even if we're just comparing to our progress from yesterday to today, we want to really tune in and pay attention to what we're learning and pay attention to how far we've come and give ourselves honor and credit for that. Be gentle with ourselves, because that's going to actually, like I said, it's fuel for the soul. The soul thrives from that kindness, from that compassion. And the ego really lights up and feeds off of your energy from the insults and the criticism. So you just got to decide, do I want to feed the monster or do I want to feed the angels? You know?
Right. Exactly. It's very true. Yeah, especially around these few days around the full moon, it's just, I think that's why the old stuff was coming up. Just the energies were so intense for me. Like today, all I had energy to do was just like sit at home because it was like, wow, because I'm just really sensitive to the moon cycles in general, but especially full moons is like, whoa, I just need to go rest.
Yeah. And that's
I did honor that.
Listen to that. Yeah. Sorry, we had a little crossover. What did you say?
Oh, that's all I was going to say was just, I did honor that when I felt like I needed to just really rest. And this, in general, like a lot of changes, like the energies have shifted so fast the last few weeks. Like I thought I was going to go be live-in nanny in this really large, beautiful home, something that I'd really manifested in my mind's eye and actually was coming true. And then last minute, it was really sad actually. What happened is they said they weren't going to be able to take in a nanny because like they were planning on getting a divorce. And I sensed that there was some kind of instability in the home, but I had no idea it was like that major. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. At least I have a place to live still. It's just I have to just work with what I have.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
definitely.
So it kind of definitely test your focus on trusting that Spirit's got a plan. And I promise you, Spirit does have a plan for you. And like I said, it may not be that the whole path is laid out. And sometimes we really think, like I was sharing with the yoga students today in the training, that I've been so taught as a soul myself to not be attached to things or outcomes or situations. And the more I trust and listen and not attach, the better I feel, the more peaceful I feel. But there's been times I've ignored that and I've been like, ooh, I really want that. Or, ooh, this is going to work. This is going to happen. Oh, crap, that didn't happen. Why didn't that work? And there's times that I feel it can trigger our ego even. Like the example I used was when I had gotten a job at a place and my angels told me, you're gonna come in and you're going to be a messenger for this. There was like a misaligned leadership and I needed to come in and speak truth. And so when I went in there right away, I felt tense. It didn't feel comfortable. I was there to bring a message. And then my angel said, it's time to let go. You're not to stay here long. This isn't a good environment for you. And I was just like, wow, really? And so for a little bit, the ego part of me was like, damn, I just told all these people on Facebook I got this new job and they're all cheering me on. And then I realized, wait a minute, when I went home and I was in meditation, I just connected. And this is why I say stillness is so important, because if we don't go into stillness and tune into the reasons and the solutions and the wisdom, we can get caught in ego and really suffer for a long time. And so when I went into that meditation place, they showed me clearly what my mission was. They were so proud of me. They were like, you did exactly what you were sent to do. Don't be attached. Don't worry. We will take care of you. And everything worked out. And I ended up getting this internet show right around the same time as that. And then ended up getting so many healing clients coming in locally from just, times that I had been at the gym, and people were finally starting to come around from those connections. But I couldn't see all that yet. I just knew to go where they say to go, speak and be truthful, which I did. And then it looked like to the outer world, it could look like failure. Like, oh, she failed. She went and did that job and it only lasted a month. What a loser, And so if you're struggling with that, what's that?
It's pretty insane how the world is that way. Because, I've changed my mind so many times about whether or not I want this job or that job, or whether or not I want to go back to school or not. Or, I've changed my mind quite a few times. But, you know, a lot of it just had to do with maybe indecision, but it was kind of like I really wanted to stay true to myself. Like, things didn't feel right to me, you know, then I wasn't going to do it. Like, yeah, I have certain ideas, but, you know, but I would see that with people